Sam is a social media and marketing consultant and a coach. She has 12 years experience in digital and print media marketing with many thousands of businesses across Australia and New Zealand. She started her own business, her own media consulting business 2 years ago. She's been internationally trained by world experts, and we're very, very blessed to have her here today. I heard so much great feedback from everyone in the webinars about how she was really helping everyone with each level of social media, right from newbies to the absolute basics, let's get those right, the foundations, right through to the expert level. So please join me in, and she's also started, well, you're going to tell us a bit about your program that's exclusive for Juice Plus as well, which is pretty exciting. But please join me in a huge team spirit rousing welcome for Sam Lees.
Cool. Hey everyone. So this is all a bit exciting. I've come here all the way from freezing cold Tassie, and I am in a dress for the first time in like 5 months, and I'm living it up. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm melting too, by the way, but that's a different story. So how amazing are some of the people that you've had come up here today? I've been sitting over there in the corner going, I'm feeling really emotional, I've got to keep it together. There's been some really beautiful stories, and you guys have got some really inspirational, empowering people here amongst your team. So soak it all up, because I'm relatively new to the Juice Plus world. And I'm just gobsmacked by some of these stories. And I sort of started writing some names down, going, these guys are great, but there's now just too many names. It's everybody. They're all amazing. So I've also got notes here, because I've got a little habit, for those of you that know me, to go over time. I get really excited and passionate and absorbed in what I'm talking about, and I go maybe a little bit longer than I should. This is also a little bit different for me, because normally my crowds are around about 100, otherwise they're all on a computer. So when I talk to groups, I'm usually talking to people on a computer screen. So it's a bit daunting having quite so many faces in front of me today, although normally everyone can see me, I can't see them, so it's a bit of a weird setup. Now, who here knows that if you post to Instagram or Facebook something that you might have posted a year ago, you'll likely get shadow banned or ghosted? And did you know that if you simply post the name of your favourite brand or any of your business contact details, it's quite likely that Facebook will hide your post? And if you do today what you were doing a year ago in 2016 and it was working to attract people, it's quite likely that in 2017 that very same thing will be repelling people. Social media is changing at a really rapid pace. The question is simply, are you moving with it, or are you getting left behind? I'm going to give you guys some tips today on how to get ahead and stay up to date with what's going on. But before I do, how many of you guys are currently in my Juice Plus bootcamp, or the one that we've just completed? Awesome. Well done, guys. We've been having a great time. We've just finished running the first round of Facebook Bootcamp exclusively for Juice Plus. We had about 100 people. We had exactly 100 people in the last one. And it's been awesome to get to know all of you. And the great thing about this is that we've been able to tailor the social media journey, the Facebook teachings, just for Juice Plus. The really exciting thing about this is that due to popular demand, we're running another one. So starting in about a week and a half, we have our second set of Facebook Bootcamp, which is going to run for another 4 weeks via webinar, all on recording. I'm going to tell you a bit about it at the end. But for those of you, well, everybody here should have one of these that you got on your way in. And it's got all the information in it about what we're doing during that bootcamp. The reason I want to tell you about that now is because during my slideshow, there's actually going to be a link on the bottom. We've only got 48 spots left. We only take 100 in total. So we've got 48 spots left. So if you want to sign up for it, you can either do it while I'm talking today, or of course you can come and see me afterwards and we'll manually sign you up. So what is the purpose of Facebook? Now, hopefully, we're working, yay. What is the purpose of Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg said that he wanted Facebook to be the world's personalised newspaper. He wanted everybody to be so drawn into their Facebook newsfeed that they couldn't pull themselves away. And they do that by using several tools I'm going to talk to you about today. But the fact of the matter is that businesses get really confused about the purpose of Facebook. They think Facebook is there for them to sell stuff, to promote their business, to get new customers. And that's actually not true. Facebook is here to help you build relationships, long-lasting relationships, create customer loyalty. It's here to help you engage, prime and seed your target market. It's here to help you strategically place yourself in the path of your target audience. And it's here to help you learn. Facebook knows everything. It's scary. So we should tap into that because we can learn from Facebook. We just need to know where to look. If you use the tools that Facebook has available for you, most of which are for free, I can guarantee you that your Juice Plus business will be unstoppable. Anyone here that's in the room that's currently using social media will tell you just how powerful it can be. Now, I want to give you guys a little bit of backstory as to where I've come from and why I'm here now. As you can see, I have a very busy family life. I have 4 children, 5 if you include my partner Greg. And what was that? Celine knows. We actually just received a video text from Greg saying, look at what I've got the kids doing. He's in the lounge room and he's got all 4 of them, including my now 5-year-old, doing burpees. This is how you tire them out. So I wanted to show my kids, a couple of years ago I set out to start my own business, and I wanted to prove to my kids that no matter what we think, we are capable of doing absolutely anything. I had a lot of people at a certain period in my life drumming me down, and I started spinning this story. I was telling myself that I couldn't, I wouldn't, I wasn't capable, I couldn't learn new things, I would never be able to run my own business. Until I stopped, and thankfully Celine gave me the eagle's push out of the nest and said to me, actually, you are capable of doing anything you want. The only thing stopping you is you. So I wanted to show my kids that no matter what they think of themselves, no matter what kids tell them in the playground or teachers or whoever comes across them in life, they can absolutely do anything they want. Like many of you guys here in the room, I have no doubt, and we've heard many stories like that today. So back when I was 18, I left school and got my first job, and I opened up the newspaper and there was this job in there for a door-to-door salesperson, commission-based, 100% commission-based, uncapped earning potential. I was so excited. I was on the money. Who's ever done door-to-door before? Oh yeah, you guys know how hard that stuff is, right? I thought this was going to be so easy, because if I just worked 24 hours a day, I could make millions. So I did this job for a short period of time, and I realised within the first few days that I had approximately 7 seconds of somebody's time for them to make a decision on whether they were going to hear me out or boot me out. And believe me, I got booted out of a lot of places, until I realised that the only way to get them to hear me out was to talk about them, create some commonality, get them starting to engage with me. I didn't do it by telling them why I was there and what I wanted to sell them, that was for sure. So not long after that, I landed my dream job. Who's heard of the Entertainment Book? Yay. Amazing product, amazing company. I started working with them and worked with them for 10 years. I got the opportunity to start and run the Tasmanian version of the Entertainment Book, and it was amazing. Over that time, I realised that there was a really big disconnect between marketing and sales, and an even bigger disconnect between many businesses and their marketing and sales. The fact of the matter is that marketing is the strategy to get people to the door or pick the phone up or send that email. Sales, however, is what comes next. And a lot of people didn't have both of those skills. They would have one, but not necessarily the other. And on top of that, I was seeing business after business, particularly with the rise of digital marketing, start to really panic because they knew they had a great product or a service. Just like you guys, Juice Plus, incredible product, amazing company, fantastic culture. But if you don't know how to communicate that to the person at the other end, how are you going to tell anybody about it and how are you going to get any business? So I set out to start my own consulting business doing that for people until I realised the reward wasn't in doing it, it was in empowering people to learn how to do it themselves. And so my courses were born. I just want to take you back a little step because although I was really great at what I did and I worked for the Entertainment Book, I was top of the company for many years, I loved it, I was awesome at it. It was great. I am not competitive. But I had a reputation. And that reputation was that if there was any piece of IT equipment, computer equipment, anything in the office that was misbehaving or not working, there was a process that would happen. Our IT department in Sydney would ring my administrator and would ask her one question before deciding how serious the problem really was. And that question was, has Sam touched or been anywhere near that piece of equipment? And I know there's a bunch of you in the room right now that totally get that. So after a period of time, I went, no, I'm not going to be in that box anymore. I'm not just going to say someone else will fix it, I can't do it. Seriously, I couldn't plug a plug into the right hole to get something to turn on or work. So I completely immersed myself in the things I didn't know. I spent time travelling over to America, learning from the experts in everything, digital marketing, social media, technology, IT, you name it, I learnt it. I did webinar after webinar, podcast after podcast, and in my first year of business, I spent over $50,000 just teaching myself how to be the best at what I was doing. So the point of all of this is that if I was able to do it, I wanted to be able to teach anybody, even from zero level, exactly what to do. I didn't want to do the IT talk, the techie talk, and have people completely lost. I wanted to be able to take people right back to basics, or take them from their experience level if need be, but explain it in a way that made sense. So a couple of little numbers for you. 24.3 billion is the current Australian population. 17 million are the number of current daily active Facebook users in Australia. That's 7 in 10 people currently log on to Facebook at least once every single day in Australia. 2 billion are the number of Facebook users worldwide now. 1.43 billion are the number of those that use Facebook every single day. They jump onto Facebook at least once every day. And 70% of those refresh their Facebook news feed between 11 and 15 times every day. 20 minutes is the average time per visit. So it's pretty amazing numbers, and it's pretty amazing to think just how many people are available on this platform if you just know how to use it. So what can Facebook actually do? I'm going to get a bit real with you guys for a sec. I know everyone's been so nice, so I won't get too mean on you, but I just want to talk to you about something serious. There is a difference between running a personal page or profile on Facebook and a business page, and I just want to clarify the difference. If you are conducting any business, if you are talking about any products that are available for sale, if you are talking about any business opportunities, if you are promoting any business whatsoever or doing any business or anything that could be construed as business on a personal profile, you are breaching Facebook's rules of use. This puts your page at risk. Facebook is trawled by bots. These bots are programmed to search for certain things, and when they find them, there is a no-tolerance attitude, which means if you do get caught out doing any of these things, not to say that people don't do it, but if you happen to get caught out, then you may find that you wake up tomorrow and your page is gone. You won't have it recovered, you'll have lost every image, every message, every contact, it will all be gone. That doesn't mean you can't share something that originates on your business page, however, to your personal profile, that's fine. As long as it originates on your business page, you can pop it over onto your personal profile. But don't use your personal profile for business. The second thing here is that everything I'm about to tell you about is only available to someone with a business page. You can't use most of the tools I'm about to tell you about through a personal profile. So I guess what I'm getting at here is if you are actually serious about your Juice Plus business, which I think everyone in the room is because you're here, then having a business page should be a no-brainer for you guys. Okay, rant over. Now I'm nice again. So I want to talk to you about some of the tools that we've got that are available to us through social media marketing on Facebook. The first thing is Facebook can help us improve our search rankings. We can be easier found, particularly if we offer things other than Juice Plus in addition to Juice Plus. We've got some fitness trainers in the room, we've got some health people, recipes, all that sort of stuff, family health. Improve sales. It can help our sales process and also bring us more sales. Reduce marketing expenses. Never ever before have we had so much control over literally every dollar and cent we spend online. With Facebook, from the second I place an ad, I have the ability to control everything about that ad. I can turn it up, turn it down, pause it, stop it, duplicate it. I can change the audience I'm targeting halfway through the campaign. I can change how people see it, whether they're viewing it on a mobile device or a computer device, and I can do all of this through an app on my mobile phone that takes me seconds. We also have the ability to target people right down to what they eat for breakfast. I can target someone based on their income. I can target them based on how many children they have, what interests they have, what TV shows they watch, what magazines they read, their favourite author. Facebook knows all of this information, so we might as well tap into that and use it for ourselves as well. The next thing is retargeting. Who's heard of retargeting before? A few of you. I'll explain what retargeting is. Imagine I go out to buy a new car, and I get a bit excited for a minute and I go to BMW. Be nice, wouldn't it? Now, I go to the BMW website and I've never been there before. I've never looked at buying a BMW, so I'm on the website for the very first time. Within a few hours, I start seeing BMW ads appearing on my Facebook newsfeed, and I think, what are the chances of that happening? Anyone had that happen? There are no chances. That's something called a Facebook pixel. It's a piece of code. Now, I know I've just said the C word, but don't worry, if I can do it, you can do it. It's a piece of code that Facebook gives us for free. And that piece of code gets placed on your website, and it talks back to Facebook. It tells Facebook what people are doing on your website or a landing page that you might have. From there, you can have Facebook instructed to deliver a very specific advert to those people. To give you another example, I could own a clothing store, an online clothing store, and somebody goes to buy a pair of jeans, and they get to the shopping cart, they're ready to check out, but someone knocks on the door, or rings their phone, or a kid taps on the shoulder, and they abandon cart, they walk away, they get distracted, they never actually complete the purchase. I can have Facebook ready to deliver them automatically a specific ad advertising that exact pair of jeans within hours that they never actually purchased. So you can see just how powerful this can be, and it can be used in many, many different ways. The next thing is engaging. When we did advertising previously with third-party media, it used to be, I'm going to tell you about my business, you'll sit there and listen, and then I move on to the next person. I'm going to tell them about my business, and then the next person, and so on. Now, I tell you about my business, you have the opportunity to respond, I respond back, and we start to build a bit of a relationship. Next is increased exposure. Oh, no, it's not, it's insights. Oh, getting ahead of myself. Insights. So, by the way, guys, all of this we unpack in boot camp. So some of you right now are going, how am I ever going to use this stuff? We unpack the stuff during boot camp, so we teach it over the course of the 4 weeks. But insights are music to any marketer's ears. The idea with insights is we can see exactly how people are viewing our posts, how many, how long they stay on a video for, what device they're using to view our posts, all of those things. Next up is lead generation. I do generate between 40 and 60 qualified leads, that's really key here, qualified leads, every single week using Facebook, and it doesn't cost me a cent. Email database. Now, I know a lot of people right now are going, we don't want to send any more emails to people. We get too many emails. Email database is a lot more powerful than we think it is. Start building it now, because once you realise just how powerful it is, it's going to take you time. Believe me, having an email database is very powerful. You can upload your email database to Facebook, and you can ask it to do one of two things. First thing is I can ask Facebook to deliver a specific advert to my people on my email database and re-engage them on their Facebook newsfeed. So they won't know why they're getting it, they're just randomly seeing an ad from my business. The other thing I can do is I can ask Facebook to find me what's called a lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is where Facebook takes those email addresses, it already has them, so it knows who those people are, it'll throw away the ones it doesn't know, and it will look at the behaviours, characteristics, interests of the people on your email database, and then it will find you an audience that matches those behaviours and characteristics. Really powerful, because we often don't know what it is that makes our email database common to each other. Facebook does. Direct referrals. Through business pages, people can share, they can tag us, they can mention us. Increased traffic. It might be increased traffic to our website, to our Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or it might just simply be to our Facebook. And increased exposure. This is another touch point. I'm going to explain touch points in a minute. And lastly, but definitely not least, is creating trust. We can become human and show people who we are behind the scenes so that they feel a connection to us. I can't tell you how often I come to a conference and someone comes up to me and says, "How's the Levi doing? How's Greg's water skiing going?" And I think, I don't know this person. Facebook, right. And the thing is, you may never have met somebody, but they feel like they connect with you. And that's really powerful because at the end of the day, we want people to come to us that we have a connection with. We're going to do better business with them, and it's going to be a longer lasting, more loyal relationship. So we don't really have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is simply how well we do it. There are, however, 4 real Facebook fears that hold people back. The first one is overwhelm. And I completely get that. I still get really overwhelmed by social media. It's constantly changing. It's a huge beast. There is so much to it. The fact of the matter is that sticking your head in the sand and not doing anything about it is not going to make it any easier. I'm seeing a few nods going around the room here. So my suggestion here is take one bite of the cookie at a time. Take one step at a time and at least start moving forward because it's not going away and it's not going to get any simpler. The next thing is you feel left behind. That makes perfect sense because most of us didn't learn this stuff in school, right? I know when I was in high school, I barely learned to send an email or, crikey, an Excel spreadsheet. I still don't know how to do an Excel spreadsheet. So learning this stuff is quite a process. And change. As soon as we learn it, Facebook goes and changes it on us. How frustrating is that? Thank you, Facebook, for updating, but now we've got to relearn it all over again. And the last thing is that it's not working. You're doing everything you think you're meant to be doing. You're following all the rules that people have told you. You are watching competitors or other experts in the field. You're doing all the things you think you're supposed to do, but it's not working. You're banging your head against a wall and you're wasting your time. Well, hope isn't a strategy. There's something called the Facebook algorithm. This is every marketer's worst nightmare. And this is why we have so much trouble. About 2 years ago, because business pages were becoming so prolific on Facebook and businesses were selling and spamming and self-promoting and all of these things, Facebook decided they had to do something to improve the user's experience, otherwise they were going to lose Facebook users, and they don't want that. So they created a program that is ever-changing. This program watches everything you do online. It watches what websites you go to, what posts you click on, hover over, what videos you look at and how long you look at them for. It looks at your behaviours and who you connect with. And then it decides exactly what to deliver you, where, when, how, and from who. This means that for a period of time now, you would have noticed your Facebook newsfeed is no longer in chronological order. In fact, you might have many friends, probably around about 80% of them, that you haven't seen a post from for quite a while. Ever been to a friend's page and gone, "Oh, I bet they've unfriended me. I haven't heard from them for ages." But you go to their page and they haven't. It's because the algorithm has decided it doesn't think that you are particularly interested in what they're delivering right now. The problem with this is that as a business, we want to be talking about us. We want to promote ourselves. We want to talk about our products. Naturally, we want to talk about us, but the algorithm doesn't like this because this is not going to be interesting to the end user and that's their end game. So we have to get around it. I'm going to give you 5 Facebook non-negotiables now, so get ready to write these down because I'm going to go quick. These non-negotiables are 5 steps you can take that are implementable straight away to make these changes to your Facebook business page and hopefully get around that Facebook algorithm. There is, however, a quick disclaimer. This won't work overnight. It could take anything up to 3 months, and that wouldn't be unusual to get traction back on your page or traction in general on your page. But if you're lucky and you do a good job of it, you may find that you start to get traction within a week or 2. So, number 1 is the 80-20 rule. 80% of all your content on social media should be informative, entertaining, educational, and interesting to your target market. Only when you get that right can you then do 20% of self-promotion. Number 2 is 5 to 7 posts per week. Be consistent or you will literally be non-existent. You need to be posting regularly, but you need to stick to the 80-20 rule. And on top of that, you need to remember to follow Juice Plus compliance. You'll find all the information about Juice Plus compliance in your virtual office. We do also teach this and cover it during Facebook Bootcamp as well, as to do our due diligence, and as part of that process you can be coming up with great content without getting in trouble for breaching rules. This is all about protecting the Juice Plus brands. There's good reason behind this. Number 3 is images are king but video is queen, and we all know that the queen rules the house. Facebook favours images over text, video over images, and Facebook Live over everything. Facebook have predicted that by the end of 2018, 90% of all newsfeed content will consist of video, which means you have to get comfortable with getting in that space. Scary, right? This is, again, one of the reasons we've added a week, literally, of video in Bootcamp, because we want to show people lots of different ways to come up with video, because their fear is, I don't want my face on camera. That's okay. There's lots and lots of ways to incorporate video effectively. Tip number 4, and probably for me the most important one, is know your audience and speak their language. Now, you might have 10 to 15 audiences. You might have 1 or 2. But you need to nut them out. You need to write down who they are and get in their heads, because if you know what makes them tick, it is so much easier for you to connect with them. Now, for those of you that are thinking, I don't know who my target audience is, totally okay. If you know where to look on Facebook, this is one of the things that they teach you to do. So there's a lot of information in Facebook to help you learn about your target audience and become familiar with them. The sorts of things you should get to know are their age, their gender. By the way, there might be 3, 4, 10 of these, so just for every one of them you want to write these down. Their hobbies and interests. Their kids, how many and how old are they? Because again, talk their language. If you talk to me as a new mum, you're going to use a different language than you would if I had teenage children ready to move out of home. Do they have a job? What's their income? And where do they live? Remembering Facebook knows all this information, so if you can plug it in, it's going to give you an answer. And number 5 is plan. Scheduling will save your Facebook life. Seriously, you need to be able to get all of these things right, and you don't want to be doing it off the cuff, because you'll get all of these things really wrong, which is where a lot of people go wrong. If you're scheduling, you're sitting down for a couple of hours once a week on a Friday, a Sunday or a Monday, and you've got your head in that space and you're nutting it out and you're scheduling this, it's going to make it so much easier for you to get it right. And again, you can't schedule through a personal profile. So one of the things I get asked an awful lot is, if social media is so good, Sam, can't I just stop everything else, all other promotion, and just focus on social media? And the answer is absolutely not. There's something called subliminal persuasion that is a really important part of marketing. Subliminal persuasion is about placing yourself in the path of your target market strategically and often quite subtly. The idea is that you don't necessarily need to be in their face all the time. Subliminal persuasion could consist of something like, or a touch point, which is what this is. Could be having one of your business cards placed on the corkboard of a cafe where a lot of your target market might hang out. It could be being involved in a sporting club that makes sense for your target market. It could be belonging to a networking group. Could be a website, could be Facebook, could be Instagram. There are lots of different ways that you can have a touch point without actually spending money. Now, I just want to show you guys this next slide because, and before you sort of go through this, I want you to eliminate the word sales, because people read this and they go, oh, I'm not a salesperson, this doesn't apply to me. Well, you may not be a salesperson, but you've got businesses, so at the end of the day, you've got something to sell, whether it's a service, whether it's a product. You guys I'm assuming everyone in the room here has got a Juice Plus business, which is why you guys are all here. So technically speaking, you are all salespeople. Whether you like it or not, that's what you are. And this was shown to me about 10 years ago and scared me just a little bit, coming from a sales background. 48% of people never follow up with a prospect or a lead. 25% of people make a second contact then stop. 12 only make 3 contacts, then stop, and only 10% of people ever make more than 3 contacts. Contacts, by the way, are not direct contacts. That includes the business card in the cafe, the networking group, all of those touch points. 2%, however, of sales are made on the first contact, 3 on the second, 5 on the third, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of all sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact with somebody. So if we're not staying in regular touch, if we're not placing ourselves in the path of our target market, then we're missing out potentially on 80% of our potential sales. So how many touch points do you have out there? Because the magic number is 7. You should have 7 touch points out there in the marketplace at any given time. They can chop, they can change, but start thinking to yourself and maybe write down, how many different things do I have out there right now? Do I have Facebook? Do I have a website? Where am I networking? 7 different things you need out there at any given time. So what's the obvious question? All right, because I'm running out of time. So how do I make Facebook work now? How do I make all of this work for me and save time and money right now? So Facebook Bootcamp, for those of you that are unfamiliar with what we've been doing, is a complete A to Z, step-by-step live course where you'll learn exactly how to get big results on Facebook quickly, effectively and easily while freeing up time for you to do other things. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Now, I'm not going to go through this stuff because, to be perfectly honest, you've all got brochures in front of you that have got all this information, so I'm just going to flick past it. Can I go back? Yes. Bootcamp. So when are we doing it? So basically what happens is we run webinars for Bootcamp. The webinars are on a Monday. They go for an hour and a half. And with that, if you can't make a session, it doesn't matter because everyone that has registered receives the recording later that day, and you can watch the recording for up to 3 months. So we do the session on advertising and boosting and target audiences, usually people want to go back and watch that one again because, it gets a little bit mind-boggling. So you can watch the sessions later on down the track. Now, the other thing, and again, I'm just going to skip past what's in each week because that's on the back of those brochures, so you'll be able to see what's included in each week of Bootcamp. There is another course that we've added to this, which is Facebook Business Basics. For those of you that feel like you are right at the start of your Facebook journey, you want to learn how to navigate, you want to learn how to build a Facebook business page and you feel really uncertain about this whole process, this is the precursor to Facebook Bootcamp. Now, what we'll be doing with these is normally when I do these for the public, which is generally how it's run, it's $597 for the 4-week Bootcamp course. However, for Juice Plus franchisees, because Celine put on her Celine mummy voice, it's $197 for the full 4 weeks, plus we're adding in a bonus 5th session, which is all on Canva and post design. So we're going to teach you guys how to use a free program called Canva to create really great, really popping images, etc., that are compliant that you can use on your Facebook feed. If you want to do the business basics, it's normally $197. You guys get it for $99. So that's it. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is anyone that hasn't registered through the links and wants to, you can come and see me. I've got sign-up forms. If anyone has any questions about social media, and I'm sure you've all got tons because generally speaking, I've left a whole lot of really unanswered stuff when I go through this and whiz through and I'm on a time frame. So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to come and ask me. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me here. I'm really blessed to be a part of this and I can't wait to have a chat with you guys.